Got us another Georgetown in here. Yes. Notice the excitement in my voice. So I think you got to do the dash on this too. I'm not sure. The other one was a bear. But let's go up and take a look at it. Not doing the ceiling on this one. We're just doing the roof. As far as I know. If something else raises its ugly head and we gotta fix it, sure. But there's what you got. Your typical RV roof. Slobber moron. You know, that's all they do. Just put this crap on here. Got a couple of cracks. This is an acrylic roof. This roof is the same exact roof system that they put on pop-up campers. Obviously got a crack right here. So it had some leaks. Some of it was coming from that air conditioner, from what I gather. What I've been told, this is what's going to happen. It's going to break down, and then the water gets in there, and that's when you have troubles. So I'm going to elevate this a little bit here so we can get this to drain better. Water is just going to build up here and start coming back because there's no way to drain, and they've got it all the way down. So now, you know, roughly, let's see, you know, you're talking about maybe a ½ inch or so where water would have to build up before it gets off, even the same way over there. That's quite a bit of water, and it also adds weight to it. You figure water weighs 8 pounds a gallon. So, but this is your typical RV roof. You can see they had some trouble up here. I had to put some tape on all of that. We'll be getting rid of that antenna for show. And then that's about it so far that I can show you. Like I said, it's the same old. They just want to put all that. Oh, that's get back to work alarm. Back to work. Let me show you this. Oh, watch this. You trust this caulking? Okay, you can see it's all right here. I haven't touched anything yet. You don't think that's going to leak in there? The whole thing, it'll come right up. I'm not going to stick to this stuff. Oh, that's real smooth. Hey, look at that. Wow. That is a shame. You can just put your finger up underneath there. Yep. Put more on, that'll solve your problem. So the problem I have with the RV industry, probably why I don't have any sponsors, is because they want to get it built, get it out, get it sold, and they exploit people's ignorance to roof systems. This is not the way you do a roof. This is not the way you do a flat roof or a low slope roof at all. They call it the industry standard. That bar is pretty damn low, real low. If you get online, you can search for commercial roof images, and you will see that the air conditioners, the vents, skylights, you'll see all those things elevated on a box. They call those boxes, they call them curbs. And those curbs have flashing, and they have counter flashing on it. And basically what a flashing is a flange. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you know what I'm talking about, but it has a flange that comes out. It's wide. Like this would be a flange right here. But it'd be up on a box. And it's basically you're getting all of these components out and off the roof line. That's how it functions. If it didn't function that way, and all you had to do was to just put it down and slobber some caulking around it, could you imagine how much money these massive plants have, acres and acres of roof systems, you know, undercover buildings, that is. You know how much money they'd save on, you know, from putting curbs, because you got to pay for the curb, you got to pay for the install, you got to pay for the, you know, all the detail around it and all the prep and so on and so forth. All that takes time, and typically the average roof detail is about 65–70% of the roof cost. So they would be saving a lot of money. However, if they did do this nonsense, by the time they get to one end of the building, they'd be cycling it right back around. They got to do it every few months, right? It doesn't work. So they're just exploiting people's ignorance to roof systems. And people say, well, it's the RV manufacturer. They should know what they're talking about. No, they don't. They don't care. They just want to get it built, get it out, get it sold, let it last a year. They've got your money. You don't like it, buy another one. Or if you want to trade it in, they'll give you next to nothing for the one you got, even though you just bought it. You already lost 15 grand driving off the parking lot, and they'll give you another piece of crap with the same daggone problem. And what do? Back to square one again. So sometimes it's just better to fix one up and keep it. If you're an RVer, get one, fix it up, put a good roof on it, be done with it, enjoy it, you know? Because you're just not going to get any better. They're not going to change this. This has been going on ever since I've been doing RVs. And it's all wrong. It's always been wrong. They don't care. You go to an RV place, hey, I need a new roof. Sure. What do? They copy what this is. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly, expecting different results. It's not going to change. It's the same crap. So I've got over 200 videos on this channel. Click away. You'll see what I'm talking about. But, you know, I have no problem calling them out because they're stealing your money. They're literally stealing your money. So, all right, more to come. We'll tear this up and see what's underneath it. So we pulled all the caulking off of here. You can see all these little fractures in it. This is junk. So we're going to have to get a new lens. I don't think I can salvage this. We shall see. We shall see, but I don't know if I can salvage it. It goes all the way here. All right, so we come down here. Obviously the window, front of the coach. This is all loose and there's nothing in there. I don't know if you can see that bouncing, but there's nothing there. Hey. It's just all loose. So we gotta see what's going on, get something behind there and try to get some strength in there because the mirror keeps coming off. The other side's the same way. See it over here. It's the same way. There's nothing in there. So it's just pulling because of the weight of the mirror. So we're going to see if we can get a plate or something or some sort of strength behind there. All right, this is our hot mess. I'll show you some more about the doors and the mirrors when we get closer to it. So inside the mirrors or where the mirrors were, there's no mounting at all. They just screwed it to the pylon, really. So that's why it all broke loose. We'll be putting a plate in there. We've already got all that squared away. But we're going to do it after we pull this out because I got to work on the slide. I got some other stuff to do, so we're not going to mess with it yet. So we jump back up on here. But you can see we got some Delam. Ah, look at there, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, we're going to spray it with mold kill. We soak it down, then we'll soak it down again. That's what we do. And then we'll rip all this flaky stuff off, see what's up underneath it. And then we'll re-laminate it and make sure it's all set. But this is what Delam is. So if you look at this grain, it's going this way. See this grain? Going this way. The next one underneath is going the other way. These are called plies. That's where you get the word plywood. So you get that there, that one there, they're all laminated together. But when the water gets in it, obviously it destroys it. So kind of typical for a Georgetown. Unless you see a Georgetown that we did, I really wouldn't recommend buying one. I've done a lot of work on Georgetowns, extensive work on Georgetowns, more than I've done on any other Class A's. Georgetowns are always the worst. They're just a piss poor design, and there's just a lot of work to it. So I'm not a fan of these at all. It's a shame because they're nice coaches, but they just do stupid stuff like put that acrylic on here. That's all it is, just an acrylic roofing. This is the same stuff, I think I already told you. This is the same stuff that they put on pop-up campers. That's all it is. It's just acrylic, it's just reinforced. That's all. But it's still junk, you know. I think the last one we did had the same thing on it. So, all right, so that's what we're gonna do, spray it down. Then that'll satisfy us. So the mold kill that we use is called concrobium. It's called mold control. You can get it at Home Depot. And we just put it on pretty liberally. So the science behind the concrobium is that what it'll do is when it gets on there, it takes those cells and it just kind of suffocates them, kind of squeezes it. That's from the infrared. Now, I've never put it under a microscope to find out, but that's what it says it does. So we shall get that all sprayed up, and then, like I said, we don't have to take the shoulders off. I'm not going to. I want to see what's all up under here. I try to do it, at least I have to, like invasion-wise. It just always seems to be easier, you know. I mean, we'll still, if we do, I mean, we'll still do it, but it's just a lot of extra work if we don't have to. But we'll find out here as soon as we start ripping everything apart, because we can laminate the new sheets and just tuck them in, so we can get them all set. All right, well, let's see what we're gonna do. All right, we have got the new roof deck glued down. We got a ton of glue on this thing. We glued it all down there. So now what we're doing is getting the shoulders right here. We're getting those fastened down, and then there's another plate that goes on top, and then we got some roofing going on there, got some strips going on, so we're moving along. All right, so now this is our metal. We're gonna weld to this. So we got it all the way down there, and I marked them all out because that's the way I am, because you're gonna see these under the roofing, and I'd rather have it look all even under the roofing. I don't know, there's some OCD stuff I got going on. But anyhow, you can see all the glue we got in here. Everything's all glued down. So then we got strips that we'll be putting across here on the joints. And then, you know, all these joints will probably, these come out real pretty tight, but I'm probably still gonna put a cap over it. Doesn't necessarily need it, but I don't know, just the way I roll sometimes. I look at it and go, well, maybe so, maybe no. It depends. That's how I feel. So, because I got some like this right here where the edge of the plywood, that's just a factory deal. So at least if I put a strip on, it looks clean. You know, same with this other one over here. So, but other than that, that's what we're doing now. So we got all this glue in here, get the other side done. See if we can't get a roof on this thing. So on the driver's side, we were looking over there and I just saw a little belly of a dip. I don't know what it was from. It might have been something in the foam, but when we got all this secured in there, it just had this slight little dip. I just didn't like it. So I put some filler in here, so it just smooths it out and takes that curse out. You know, I like to look down and make sure everything looks nice and clean. Everything looks nice and tight as I'm kind of eyeballing it. Even though it's a roof, I still like them to look good. And, you know, first impression you look at it, you go, wow, that looks great. Instead of, what's that? What's this? What's that? So I like to try to get all that squared away. But I think it looks pretty well. We'll be able to get a roof on this easy. So now we got those pieces on there. That's what I'm going to weld to. We just protected them because I don't want to get adhesive all over it. Then we put our strips in. Got all those glued down. And now we're going to get ready to roll the roof out. And we'll start gluing the roof down. All right, so we've got driver's side already glued. And we're going to roll the passenger side over. And we'll be ready to cut some holes. So this is all the junk we pulled out for the dash. They put these little boards in here to try to support it, give it some strength, because it kept collapsing. We've already got it apart. So we got it out. Good old Georgetown. So this is there's one that goes on the bottom, then there's one that goes on the top. So there's kind of a gap in there. So we did this one, then we did something a little better in Forest River. We put aluminum up underneath there. So it's coated. I'll show you on this side. So we put this piece of aluminum on there. Right there, we glued it on. So we're going to set that in, and then on any other areas, obviously we'll seal all those. We don't want this happening again. That's just plain stupid. We're probably end up putting a gutter in it like we did the last one. Just so he shut the camera off, he's telling me this is the old one right here. So those little blocks is what they had all cleated in there to try to hold it all together, but that's just a shame how they do it. I think there is some sort of cheap ass liner right here. You can hear like a little bit of plastic or something, but a mosquito can get through that. All right, so what we did on our Georgetown, had to take the window out. Then we got some epoxy down inside here. And behind here, I don't know if you can see it or not. And you see that piece of metal? There's a big plate. It's all around in here. We got rivet nuts in there, so we can put some threaded screws in there. They just had some lag bolts in there to hold the mirror on. That wasn't too good. So we got a plate in there, so it's going to be a lot stronger. So we got all that squared away. Still obviously got to put the window in. Same on the other side. And then we have some rot on this floor over here. Hopefully Karen will pick it up because I didn't bring a flashlight. But it's all There's a piece of metal they put on there. That's all, like you can put my thumb through there. That's how bad it is. Hey, that's all junk. Yeah. Ta-da! So we gotta explore that and see what's going on. But that was somebody's fix instead of actually doing the floor. So that's we did the same thing over here. The driver's window out. We did the same thing. We filled it. We got those rivet nuts in there. There's a piece of steel down inside there. We epoxied everything back together. So now we can screw the mirror right into those threaded rivet nuts. That's what we're doing over there. There's the floor. We got the new piece in there. And look real close, you can see some drips right there. That's the epoxy. We epoxied it all back together. So that's all done. We're going to put a sheet of probably aluminum or something underneath there to protect it, of course. And let's see, we'll go around this way, see if we can sneak in here. And then you can see it right there. So all that's been epoxied back together. So there's it's not just cut and bump together. You have to do a half lap on it. So it had to get all routed out. Then we're going to remove the carpet and we're going to put another piece all the way across to pull that whole joint together. So and then we'll just lay everything back in. So we still got some, obviously some trim to put on here, but we patched all this back in. This is a piece of aluminum up underneath here. We put that on there, and then get the inside that we got to put back together. But for a small piece, it takes a little bit to get in there, and because you got to make all these basically it's joinery you got to do to make sure it all stays together, and obviously epoxy it and so on. There's another piece that we put on the top, and that just holds it together. I think I had mentioned that. Let's see if we can see it. Oh, we already got it back, but there's another piece that spans over it to lock all that joint together. That's what it is. You can see it in there. Alright. Well, we're going to get it back together. And she's ready to go. Well, we're done with our Georgetown. Ready to go. So we've got everything all welded in. This is all welded. It's not cemented or with glue. It's all welded in there. So we've got our little stamp on the back over there. October 23. That just shows when we put the roof on, so when it comes back for inspections we can monitor it. All of the caulking has, we've got 2 strikes on the back. Tried to clean up this over here because that was a hot mess. Then obviously got a new skylight lens in. We don't screw them down. These are all glued down. Everything's glued. You got the ladder boots over there, you can see. So you know, when you grab onto those and you shake them, they usually wiggle all around, and that's usually where they start breaching and you start getting water coming in that way. All they do is put that self-leveling on there. So the other thing we did is we terminated the roof right here at the shoulder, and this is a special metal that you have to buy, and then the actual membrane will weld right to this, so it's welded all the way back. That's quite a big weld. On the air conditioner we have a couple of stands in the back here, get one on the other side. It just gives it some balance. But all the curbs that are designed, they all have counter flash, which is this part right here. So now as the water is traveling across the roof, it's going to come up here and get redirected. It minimizes an erosion effect. So that's an important concept. Now this is the way a flat roof or a low roof, low slope, that's how they function. You can go online and search commercial roof images and you'll see the way they're all put together, which is just like this. This is just a mini commercial roof. Membrane's the same exact, but all the other components I have to make. So now what this is over here, that's a solar fan, and then this is an intake right here. So a lot of times, especially now when it's getting colder out, you'll have it in the cooler at night. You'll have maybe some dew or even some frost up on the outside of this lens. But on the inside of the lens, there's also frost or dew on there, okay? It's just, you know, a temperature reaction. So on the inside, there's an inner lens, so you have an inner lens, and then you have this lens. But there's nothing in there to dry it out. So what happens is when the sun comes up, it'll evaporate this right off the top. But on the underside, it can't evaporate it, but it does condense it. and then it starts following the contour of the skylight, and then it can start doing what's known as dry rot. So we want to try and get some air in there. If we get air in there, then we can get it to dry out, right, and stay dry. So that's the whole principle. Now when the sun comes up to evaporate the moisture off of here, that solar fan kicks on, draws the air up over the inner lens and comes back down. And we've got a couple of pieces of ductwork in there. So that's how that functions. And then on the front here, the air conditioner, we have a piece of counter flash as well that goes over the counter flash that I had mentioned that we have on the curves. This has the same thing. It just drops it down. Up underneath is a foam gasket. I don't want the water to come down this way and then get blown back into that foam gasket. So that's what that piece prevents, and it just drops it down so it'll move out. Now on the awning, this is a kind of a typical deal that Fleetwood does and also Georgetown does, is they screw this rail right to the roof, and it causes a water dam, and then the water will back up, or even an ice dam. You know, you just have all that extra on there. It should be getting off the roof. So we did replace the fabric, but what I did is I elevated this. So now you have a trough there, see? So all the water can get up underneath there and go into the gutter where it belongs, and then get out. So they, but like I said, we ended up putting new fabric on here. Again, everything's all welded. So other than that, that's what we got. This air conditioner up here is the same thing. And then we've got the antenna over there. We made a base for it. Little radio antenna right there. So we got all that together. Let me tell you about the actual roof. Is a 60 mil commercial grade TPO. TPO stands for thermoplastic, and it welds together with a hot air gun. It welds together. So you don't have caulking and everything all around here. This is all welded. The maintenance on this is real easy. You just get up here and wash it with some dish soap, or you can bring it to a truck wash. If you want them to get up there and pressure wash it, you can do that. It's not going to hurt this roof. This is the same exact membrane that you're going to find on a restaurant, you're going to find on a hotel, office building, library. Same exact membrane. I buy it from the same supply house. So we have 3 different colors that we offer. These are standard colors. And you have the gray, the tan, and the white. So if you want a sample, just reach out to us. We'll send you a sample. Then see if I can show you on the back here. You can see all those little squares in there. There's a mesh built into this, and that helps resist against hail and tree branches and things like that. You're not going to find that on an RV roof. The RV material is super thin, and it's just cheap, and it has no structure to it. And it'll rip real easy. That's why they end up ripping that easy when you snag them simply on a twig or a tree branch or something. It's going to be real hard to even get a tree branch to dig into this. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't, but it would be pretty hard to do it. If it did, and we had something, we could do a hot patch on it a lot of times. So you don't necessarily have to tear the whole roof off like you would your typical RV type roofing. So. Then we changed all the, we didn't really, on here we had the insert trim right here that we replaced, and it goes right inside here. So we replaced that, and let's see where that went. There it is right here. So this is obviously white. This is what's on the coaches, obviously black. But you can see there's a little groove in there. See that little groove? And it sits inside this track. And now, as it's sitting, the water will come down and roll obviously into the gutter, but it won't go into that little track because it's got the groove. So it goes where this one, you can see that's inside the track, so the water can get right down in there, but right here it locks it out. And I like it because it does keep a lot of water out. I try to do the best I can to find out any which way possible to make sure that we don't have water intrusion coming in anywhere. And if there's one more step I can do, then I do it. So we did get the slide out floor done, and we also got the dashboard all squared away, and then the front, I think we showed you all that. We put the plates in for the mirrors. So she is ready to go. Now these aren't DIY videos. If you pick up some tips, great. That's awesome. but they're not intended as a tutorial. And also, we don't quote on social media, so if you had some questions or pricing on your coach, just give us a call. We'll be glad to help you out and see all what you got going on with yours. So all that said, you know, we appreciate y'all watching, and give the video, I guess, a thumbs up if you like the video, so other people can find it. I guess that's the way the algorithms work. Not really a high-tech guy. I get this camera, run around, take the card out, we pop it in the computer, upload the clips, just add transitions. I don't do any editing or anything. So, but otherwise, again, that's what I'm told, that the algorithms work that way. If that's even I'm using the right word. So, well, we appreciate y'all watching, and we'll. Oh, the warranty. Let me tell you the warranty on these roofs. The system itself, the roof itself, the membrane, this here, this is a 20-year system. That's what it is. 20 years. Much like when you buy tires, they'll say your tires are, you know, 60,000, 40,000, whatever you get for your, you know, the type of tire you buy, the type and the warranty on your tire. So, but that means the actual material is rated for 20 years, meaning it won't have, it will, by the time it reaches its failure, it would probably be, you know, they're at 20 years plus, right? So all that said, they do not offer a warranty. Nobody offers a warranty on labor on RV roofs. There isn't out there. It's not. If you have one, send it to me, because I'd like to read it. I've never seen one. All that said is, all that being said, I don't want someone to think that, hey, we did this job, thank you for your money, see you, bye. We don't do that. Come back for your inspections. I would ideally like to see them 60 days after we do them, because these rack, they twist, they flex a lot. So I want to make sure we address everything that's going on with this Georgetown. Again, another Georgetown in here, it may rack, twist, and flex a little differently than this one. It's just physics. So that being said, I want to see it come back about 60 days, and after that you come back every year. So once you come back, this is 23, so we'll have a warranty on this until 24. So the warranty goes annually. Every year we renew it. So you come back for 20 years, I'll keep inspecting the thing. It's okay with me. I don't mind. I like to see my work and see how long it lasts and everything. If there's something squirrely on it that I don't like, we're going to fix it. Now, if you don't come back, then you will fall out of warranty. And if you fall out of warranty and there's something that happens to the coach that we could have otherwise have gotten squared away with something simple, and then you just ignore it and you don't ever come back, and then, or even for a few years, and then it just gets worse and worse, and you go, hey, I got this problem, and come to find out it's a hot mess now and we got to redo it, we're just going to end up charging the customer for that repair to put them back under warranty. So it's really important that you come back for your inspections. Don't think and take inspections lightly, especially on a camper or a coach. These are maintenance hogs. You always have to keep checking them out and making sure that they're, you know, sealed well. That's the bigger issue to it. We want to make, say, I didn't make the caulking, so I want to make sure it's performing the way that the company said it was. I didn't make, you know, I can't warranty the fan, I don't warranty skylights, can't warranty any of that stuff. But if you do come in and we find that we've got a cracked skylight, and it could happen, you could get this thing under some heat, like on a hot day, real hot day, and then you got a thunder shower that hits it, and it'll contract real quick. And that's why we don't put the screws in. We have better luck with not putting screws in, but a lot of times you'll see these little fractures. And if that's the case, or maybe a tree hit it and you didn't know it and it just caused a fracture, but we want to catch some of these things before they turn into a, you know, a problem for you. So that's the way the warranty works. And, you know, I'd like to see people come in here, obviously, for us to do the work. And, again, some of them don't want to come back, but we want them to come back. I want people to think that we're just out here trying to take their money and kick them out like a corporate America shop. We're not like that. So, again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. So, like the last Georgetown we did, when we redid the dash, we put a gutter in it. So, you can barely see it. It's real, a thin gutter. Way is right down there. So when that water rolls over this, it's going in the gutter right there. See it? So that's that. I'll go back out here.
Right here, bro.
Where's the? Where's that? There it is. So we've got a little hose right here. A little hose right here, obviously you see the water coming out. So now all that condensation or whatever is going to get drained out. All right, awesome. And then we showed you we fixed the mirrors. We got all those, showed you all that. Other than that, she's done. Goodbye, George. Care package. Right. So in our care package, we have caulking, we got primer, we have got 2 patches. Those are heat patches. We got a patch, peel and stick patch. We got a checker tool. We've got a magnet. And the rest of this is just pens, keychains, brush, nozzle. Okay, so if we have a hole in the roof, it will simulate a hole. You can do hole simulations. We say we got a hole there. Here's your tree branch come through and you're like, oh man, I got a hole in my roof, it's leaking. So what you want to do, and it's raining out. Right now it's raining, you're like, crap, I gotta stop that leak. You want to get in there, and if you can't get that nozzle in there, don't worry about it. Make it a little bigger. What you're trying to do, you need to get up underneath the roofing, like this. This is what we need to do, get up underneath the roofing. Then you're going to take and you're going to put this up inside there, and you're going to squeeze, 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 squeeze. Hopefully this thing is plugged up. There it goes. You squeeze, squeeze. You want to try and get up underneath this part too. Squeeze up underneath there. Get some more underneath there. Well, we are getting this thing all boogered up. Then what we're going to do, you're going to push it together. See how it oozes out? That's sealed. You're done. This is a moisture cured product. So what? It's a hot mess. Looks terrible. Who cares? Keep the water out. So now, the next day, we're going to go up there, and that's going to be cured looking like that. So we're going to take a knife, and you just shave it down. Just shave it down with a knife. I'm just going to obviously wipe this off. Now you say, hey, I want something a little better than that. So what we're going to do is get some cleaner. This is a terrible rag. You got another one. You got one on you? Oh, get a rag, get a rag, get a rag, get a rag, get a rag. What you gonna talk about, man? Nope, just leave it alone. Oh, leave it alone right now. We're recording now? Are we on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright, so now we cleaned it off with a knife. I just washed that off because it's still wet. Take that off. So now we got a patch. This is a peel and stick patch. We're going to take that, we're going to center it over there. Just take a pen and go around like this. I like to kind of put a dash like that so I know who's where, what, and where, and how. So now there's what I got. So in the package we got primer. We also have a brush. You're going to take that, you're going to go all inside the square. And you also got to go outside this square about 3/8 of an inch. Outside about 3/8 of an inch or so. Once you get that, there's a film on the back. You peel the film, now you know which side you are, see, because there's your marks. And you peel that film back. Get the fingers, fat fingers in there to get the film off of this thing. This is just a regular roof tape. That's all it is. We put them in all the care packages. Get that daggone thing off of there. Probably use some fingernails. Probably help. Come on. There it is. Okay. There it is. Now you got the film. You take that film. So now we're going to line it back up with this. We already got the primer under there. You just peel the film back, and as you do, you just rub it down like this. Sometimes that film will get a little stuck in there. This is just a butyl. You just kind of try to keep it as even as you can and flat as you can. Boom, you're done. There it is. So now, out here, this is where your primer is. You put the primer on there. You got primer there, and now you're going to put primer here. You want to prime all this area with your brush. Prime all that. Then you're going to come back, once you get it all primed, and you're going to put a little bit of caulking on it, just like this. That's simple. If it doesn't all sit in there, you can always take your finger and go around it if you want. We're trying to obviously stop a leak and make one of, there's going to be a little more permanent of a patch than just that plug that we did when it was raining. So now that we get that all done, what the whole purpose of it is this part here, this part underneath here, that's a butyl. When the sun hits that, if you didn't have the caulking on there, it will cause it to release and curl up just like I'm doing here. And it'll start coming loose. That's why you need the primer. That's why when you prime it, you're going to prime on top of this, because nothing will stick to it. Nothing, the caulking will not stick to this patch, and it won't stick to the roof unless you use the primer. That's how you do a patch. Ta-da! All done.